the shooting guard position, 6 feet 4 inches, number 20, Jody Meeks. At the small forward position, 6 feet 7 inches, number 31, Caron Butler. From Oak Hill Academy, Virginia, this guard stands 6'1", the Piston 7, Brandon Jennings. From Georgetown, the 6'11" forward, say hello again to Piston 10, Greg the Goose Monroe. The center at 6'11" out of UConn, having big fun around the rim. This is Andre Drummond. Stan Van Gundy is your head coach.
Hello and thanks for joining us, 2K Sports fans, for another exciting presentation of NBA basketball. With Steve Kerr and Clark Kellogg, this is Kevin Harlan. The Washington Wizards coming to this one following a loss to the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Well, they were lucky it wasn't a blowout because they didn't put forth a very strong performance in that one.
Yeah, they just couldn't find anything to work for them, Steve. No matter what approach they used, it was futile.
We've got a chance here to set the floor, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up in red. Here's Jennings. He's coming off a 10-point game against Chicago.
And his work on the glass, certainly noteworthy. And he contributed in a number of ways.
Now here's Jennings. Here's Drummond, and he finishes nicely on the layup. Drummond's got his first 2 points.
Strong rebounding, and he's rewarded with the easy putback.
Wizards trail by 3.
Andre Drummond, arguably the league's greatest combination of size and athleticism since Dwight Howard. Maybe a shade less of a leaper, but when you look at Drummond's quickness, absolutely incredible. He's 6'11", 270 pounds, and he really does move like a guard.
Now here's Jennings, following the miss by John Wall. Butler dishes to Jennings. Meeks passes to Butler. Nice ball movement by Detroit. Just 5 on the clock. Here's Meeks. And the rebound goes to Nene.
Well, they'll give him that shot. He doesn't have the most reliable jump shot in the world. We know that.
And Meeks kicks to Jennings. He's looking for Drummond and finds him. The 3. That's good from Jennings on the assist by Drummond. Jennings has got himself on the board with 3 there.
And a lot of times his first quarter seems to dictate how big of a role he plays later on, and he's off to the good start.
Here's Nene. Detroit with the rebound. Outplayed in the previous game on their schedule, losing to Chicago.
Well, there was a lack of discipline on their part in that game, guys. They committed a lot of silly fouls, and it hurt them.
It sure did. I mean, they just didn't seem to figure out how to defend without fouling, Steve. That was just almost hard to comprehend.
Wizards trail by 8. Wall dishes to Henderson. Into Nene. And stolen by Drummond. 3 on 3. Now here's Jennings. He's tightly guarded, so he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up, and 2 shots coming up.
Greg Monroe, 6'11", 250, the ability to play the 4 or the 5 spot. And his combination of size and skill makes him very coveted around the league.
For the Pistons, checked in for Drummond. Kyle Singler comes in for Caron Butler. And it's Kentavious Caldwell, then for Jody Meeks. And then for Washington, Kevin Seraphin. He's checked in for Nene. Humphries comes in for Paul Pierce. And Andre Miller is subbed in for Webster. Jennings with the steal. Throws up. And he caps off the fast break with a monster slam.
What a start they've gotten off to. A big lead for them, and we're not even out of the first quarter yet.
And it's not just their hot offense here. I mean, they're playing very strong defense too, guys.
And Monroe, very left-hand dominant, much better scoring from that side of the floor.
Yeah, and while being a lefty does throw defenders off, I think developing his right hand is something that will help him even get better as he moves forward.
Shot clock at 3. Miller with a wide open look. Nice teamwork to set up the pick play and make the space for the J.
Defense just has to fight over the top of those screens.
Especially when the ball is in his hands. I mean, he doesn't miss too many open shots.
And out of bounds as the Wizards gain possession.
Boy, just a brain cramp, guys. I mean, that should have been the simplest of exchanges.
The Pistons making a change here. Jerebko's checked in. Wizards trail by 10. Wall passes to Henderson. 11 feet away. And the shot no good, a bit short. The Pistons have gone 6 of 13 from the field, just under the 50% mark. Jennings kicks to Singler. Out to the right wing. Singler right side. And here's Jennings outside. Caldwell Pope dishes to Jerebko. Jennings passes to Singler. And it's Humphries with the rebound.
That was not pretty there. You got to make that one, but maybe that's not his range.
It's tipped. Here's Singler. Can't get it to go. And welcome to the NBA on 2K Sports. More action in store as the players get ready to go. Having a nice break to get hydrated with Gatorade. And Steve and Clark and I are refreshed and ready to go here as well. And guys, looking at what you've seen so far from the Pistons, what do you think?
So difficult to get a shot off against this defense. They are really playing hard.
Yeah, they're playing hard, and they pride themselves on making it tough for their opponents.
Taking a look at the Wizards. Henderson, he's in at small forward. All out there with Andre Miller. Then it's Gortat, and it's Humphries in at the power forward. Smith's shot is good.
I like the fact that he led his teammate right to the ideal spot. You don't always throw it to your teammate. You throw it to where he needs to be.
From the sideline, let's catch up with Doris Burke.
Well, Kevin, with teams selling for billions and a new TV deal on the way, NBA business is certainly booming. With some big players signing huge contracts, that'll increase as the growing revenue raises the salary cap. Guys, one executive said, quote, players who got paid the max this year are going to be bargains on the back end of their deal. Back to you.
Teams are planning ahead, Doris. Thanks.
It's a Detroit Pistons timeout.
A different look here for Detroit. Drummond's checked in for Jerebko.
Make some noise, Detroit.
Comes in for Andre Drummond. And it's Martin in for Brandon Jennings. And Washington making a change here. And Wall kicks to Henderson. 1:30 left in the first half. Webster passes to Henderson. Shot clock at 6. Here's Wall, and that one's good.
Really tough to get that shot off with the size differential there. It's not an individual matchup he's going to win every time, especially in the post.
Very well done. I didn't think he had any business operating down there with the big fellas.
Here's Monroe, following the basket by John Wall. Monroe dishes to Meeks. The feed now to Martin. The Pistons working the ball around now. From downtown, and Meeks is good for 3. Meeks got 5 points so far.
That's like a layup for him. He's just wide open out there.
Henderson with the screen for Wall. Out left to the wing. And Webster kicks to Wall. Goes up to the stripe. Off the left rim and out.
Another strong rebound, just like we've gotten used to seeing from them today.
Yeah, 1 or 2 more of those, and this lead will be double digits.
Back to Smith. And he drops in the layup off the glass. And now a 9-point Piston lead.
The number of points they've scored in the paint already today is pretty eye-opening, Steve.
Oh, it's off the charts. It really is. And defensively, I mean, they have to start shutting down some of those lanes to the hoop.
Now here's Wall. 14 points from him the last game against Cleveland. And that one's good by Henderson. There's 10 seconds left in the first half of basketball. Here's Meeks. That's a 2 from Martin. And Detroit again with the bucket. And we finished one half.
Well, Karan, tell us.
Okay, listen up. There's some things we can do to quiet this crowd down. Now let's go over that first half. Continue to have smart possessions. Let's keep the turnovers to a minimum. That was a big boost to our offense. The other sore spot was our lack of scoring in the low post. We can't let them bottle us up down there in the second half. And I don't want the score dictating our tempo. Let's keep things calm. Our offense will operate better if we take things slow. That's it for now, guys. Let's go get that W.
Now the second half about to start up then.
Let's go. You're in.
Dang, about time.
Caldwell Pope in for Jody Meeks. Chris Humphries has checked in for Washington. Miller comes in for Martell Webster. We've got Smith. Contavious Caldwell Pope is out there with Jennings. Then it's Kyle Seifert. Monroe in at the 5. That's the group for Detroit right now. The Detroit Pistons, a proud franchise, of course, from 03 to 08, 6 consecutive trips to the Eastern Conference Finals. And Clark in 2004, the NBA title.
But the rebuild process has had its hiccups, Kevin, and speed bumps, if you will. Some questionable free agent signings. There's talent there, but this team hasn't quite figured out how to come together.
Now here's Jennings. 5 points in the game. Monroe with a screen on Miller. 4 on the clock. Out to the right wing. Here's Caldwell Pope. And too long on the shot.
And the defense got away with a major lapse there. And you look at the Pistons, some great size and athleticism inside, but they've lacked the high percentage outside shooting to space the floor offensively.
And he trims the lead to single digits. Humphries has got 5 now.
Very well executed pick to give him all kinds of space to get that one off.
Pistons leading by 8. And here's Jennings, averaging 16 points a game. There's a minute 47 left in the third quarter. Just 5 on the clock. Monroe sets a screen for Jennings. The shot is off, and the Wizards now going the other way.
And, you know, for the Pistons last season, you look at the size and shot blocking ability, and you thought that team would be tougher defensively. But that wasn't really the case.